Welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome back to ever so amazing, sexy Europa Barbarorum 2, where I'm continuing on with one of the greatest mods in history of Total War, Europa Barbarorum 2. At this point, we are having a situation in Maryab, no less. Second time the enemy attacks and sieges, and for some reason, without any siege equipment, they are actually sieging our settlement with walls. Interesting. This settlement is defended by the king himself, Malkun Sumhu, Malk Saba. And it's okay, my dear friend. It is okay. Because even though the balance of power is 1-to-1, we do have 1,654 men against 2,508. And we also have some Hungarians back in action, full force, with 161 Kamis infantry, some beautiful Fayach Safilatin, and of course his own son, Luhay'ath Malk Saba, is there with him. This is gonna be a great battle. We hope we can kill most of these enemies. The enemy general, though, command is way bigger than ours, but still, we have the king, and he is only a general. Let's win this one. Again, I do not understand how exactly this battle is happening at all, because let's be honest, you need siege equipment to siege a city. So unless it's a bug of some sorts, or they had a spy opening the gates, though again, I'm not having an identification that it's happening. If that's the case, still, we'll see. We shall see. This is an interesting thing. Maybe the city layout is completely different. Maybe not, because the city layout is basic city layout, as you can see yourselves. We have walls. I do not see damage on any of these walls. So let's start a deployment immediately. Classic stuff, of course. We have some quadruple spearmen on the ramparts, that is on the walls themselves. We have our that is the heir, possible heir, the son of the king, right here with his elite Malkan units and a lot of arrows. Here is the king himself. One of these men is the king. Who exactly is the king? We'll maybe notice by the different helmet design. Yeah, honestly, let's just put it like here and see our king, by the way. This is the first time we'll see our king in action. I think that's the king. I think that's the king, by the way. Yes, that should be. In the older Total War titles, the general or the commander is always on a complete side, not in the middle or something like that. So that's the actual king, by the way. At least I'm hoping I'm actually pointing to the right man. So that's the king himself, the king of Saba, right there. And the enemy, massive army right in front of us with a lot of force. Some Nubian bastards right there, some skirmishers up front. Again, a huge battle with a massive army, a lot of skirmishers up front, with of course alay behind, the archers, that is, a lot of those, and of course some more better troops in the background, the probably Kamis or Hungarians and all that beautiful stuff. Nonetheless, these are our walls, these are our troops, and we shall first do this so we can actually see the scope of all this. Okay, so we have units up to this point, it would seem. Who are you exactly? Alay. Okay, so I would utilize alay to position them where the Kamis are or where one of our leaders is. Yes, position you here, open fire as soon as you can. Our leader will be there, because again, our Malkan troops are way better. I'm a little bit afraid that they might utilize their archers and wipe out the hero, the prince himself, kill him. We have the Hungarians of 63. I do want the 121 Hungarians up here, please. On the up front, the best units, Hungarians, thank you very much there. These Hungarians will be over here, the less amount of them, but still a more elite units. Wait, did I move the wrong or did I move Kamis? I moved Kamis, my bad. Am I mixing Kamis and Hungarian troops? Okay, onto the side here. Ooh, I'm gonna position our real Hagaran, the missile units, right there to open fire upon the enemy. We have our king behind. Good, because I don't want to lose him. I do not want to lose him. We have Alatin, sword and axe infantry, or maybe just axe infantry behind them in case the enemy charges. Again, what we have on the walls is good enough to defend against possible enemy incursion, but again, they do not have any siege equipment to do so. So again, this is an awkward situation for all of us. I have no idea how this is really gonna go. We have Safelatin troops right here to open fire upon the enemy. Safelatin also. We all have range, and that is one of the issues. And the enemy has more ranged troops than us, I would say. Did I move all my ranged troops on top? Because I do want all my ranged troops on top. Alatin light infantry, okay, that's it. All my range except the king on top. Open fire, and let's see how this is gonna go. I hope for the best. And it's a victory! Oh wow, that must have been a bug, but we're gonna continue the battle, to be honest. I wanna see how this is gonna go. Because if we end the battle after we do a damage, that's gonna be amazing, because the enemy at least will fall back from the settlement with less troops for the next time they attack. Now again, I may be mixing it with the newer games where the enemy AI will back off. I have no idea, honestly. We'll see how this is gonna go. But again, as you can see, opening fire from my beautiful archer, for most of my archers, I would say. You can see the Hagarans, Kamis also opening fire, and the Safilatin on Asps, the skirmishers, but they do have shields, so there is that. Those shields are gonna get most of the damage done by our troops. We're gonna do this, thank you very much, because it would seem the enemy doesn't know what to really do. Where is the enemy general? Oh, he's on a far left point of the map, that is of this battlefield. There he is, Malkan units. Death and glory, here we come. A lot of damage. I mean, what to say? What to really say? You can see again the arrows flying and just damaging the enemy. Asps, skirmishers. Now the skirmishers again are great to hold off the enemy infantry as well as do a massive damage with those pillars or whatever they're really called. And we can, of course, I could speed up this one because the enemy can't really do anything. And we can see, of course, the Nubian units dying way more than expected, to be honest. Those massive shields ain't helping them. And behind them, Kamis infantry. The archers not enraged to open fire upon us, but we also have towers that are would be opening upon the enemy unless they are already opening. I really don't know the range of them. But glory truly it is. If we end this battle with lots of kills and waste most of our archery, doesn't really matter. We get some ranks for these beautiful units of ours, and I think that's always a plus, I would say. 94 Nubian spearmen as skirmishers not being open fire upon. Not on them at least. These one, yes. Not a huge loss, but again, 160 skirmishers on these ones, and these as 124. Still a lot of damage, a lot of dead people, but they are not the worst. The worst the enemy has is, of course, Safilatin of their own, Kamis, and Hagarans of their own, unless they do not have Hagarans and I'm just bullshitting. But they also have Arzai, they do have a long range. Still not opening, of course, not getting even close. I don't think the Aegis doesn't know what to do at this point. This must have been a bug of sorts that just screwed over the enemy, which is good. Mind you, this is an amazing situation that does not ever happen for me. So, having an ability just for this type of a bug that helps me quite a lot, because I do not have to worry really about rebels at the moment near my borders. If we wipe these bastards out, unless they fall back to their territory after this defeat. Again, I have no idea how that's gonna really go, but still, I mean, I'm mixing the new Total War games, old Total War games, mods, Jesus freaking Christ. Nobody opening fire anymore. We can see no more arrows. Okay, that means all of my units have wasted arrows, that well, at least those that have opened fire. Our Achzai that are in the middle here, not opening fire at the moment. They're gonna change places. Let's get over here. Move fast. So we can move Achzai a little bit closer. Though to be honest, I would move Prince behind the walls. Get behind the walls. Behind the walls. If they open fire, start opening really fire, we have wasted a lot of ammunition. So their own Achzai and Safilatin will be opening fire upon us. Open fire. Anyone else with a lot of ammunition? We do actually have 2 more units in the background over here, but they are spearmen, it would seem. No, we do have Achzai also here. We shall exchange places. Let's get him over here. Fast, please. Thank you very much. Get into the position to open fire. And that's really the question, is if they really need to spread up a little bit here. Thank you very much, to get the best way of actually shooting the enemy down. Did we open the gates as we moved in? No, we did not. You see, this could be a bad mojo, but the thing is, I could actually end this and the victory is mine. They are now opening fire upon our own troops. Interesting. Indeed. Now we have no way of opening fire upon them, but we have the ability to end this battle. And I think the battle will be won by us. Probably. Probably. Excellent. Open fire upon the enemy. Achzai units. Yes, they are opening fire with everything they have. I could be a very cheap bastard and just not give a crap. Allow them to waste their ammunition upon us. That is actually quite raping us at this very moment, to be honest. Is really raping us a little bit at this point. Let's get you over here. Run away. Let's get over here. Hagaren's being opened fire upon by the enemy. Let's get down over here. Avoid death and glory. Our king opening fire. Again, no units here have any way of actually doing damage now on the enemy, as we have mostly concentrated upon the enemy skirmishers. Now their skirmishers are opening fire, getting close. At least we are giving them a chance of doing damage. But to be honest, we could get behind our walls completely and allow our towers to rape them. But that wouldn't be fun, to be honest. That would not be fun. Excellent. Open fire with everything you really have. Just have fun this way. Again, do remember, I could end the battle and still win this one, I hope. Still win this one. Again, mostly the skirmishers getting a little bit too close, and they can open fire and do nice damage upon us, to be honest. I am giving them a little bit of fun, I would say. Let's get completely back over here. Stay behind the walls. As long as my general is not getting damaged in any way, shape, or form, it is fun. But look at the damage the enemy actually did on us here. Interesting indeed. I'm gonna get completely behind the barricades. That is the front part. And see how that's gonna go. Open fire if you can. At some point, people, at some point, you could open fire upon the enemy. Oh, my poor Hegarians getting completely wiped out almost. And they were the new guys. Yes, they were. It was in 100 and something of those bastards. Camise also being damaged now here. Because again, we have to take some fire from these bastards. We could charge into them, but what's the point, right? What's the freaking point? Open fire, for fuck's sake. Stop moving and open fire. Come on, kill those bastards. It would seem a little bit of an AI problem here for at least these Aghzai troops. Those Safilatin still opening fire, I would say. Or maybe not. Yes, they are. Actually, these Aghzai are opening fire. The Safilatin not opening fire anymore. I'm thinking they have wasted most of the ammunition. Yes, they did. So now what's left of the enemy is to open fire with Aghzai, and that's it. Or with the skirmishers that's left. Holy crap. Okay, so you guys can go back. Here, thank you very much. Run away. Leave whoever actually can open fire. Waste all your ammunition. Then we're gonna end the battle. Fall back. You did well. You did gloriously against the enemy. The enemy got close. Did some damage upon us. But I'm hoping the victory is gonna be ours. Hopefully. Look at the amount of those enemy skirmishers. The amount they have wasted upon the walls themselves. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. At least get amount. Yeah, I would just want to get the ranks up as much as I can. Still charging onto the Safilatin. Let's get them completely behind the wall. Those skirmishers, though, have a nice amount of power to actually, the amount of ammunition that is to open fire upon us. And I'm definitely not having a wrong target to fire upon with what's left of my ammunition on the Aghzai. I don't know, to be honest, on whom to actually shoot at. I'm going for the skirmishers here. Specifically 120, 154. But again, the towers themselves are not the greatest, to be honest, at the moment, to do any type of a damage upon the enemy that you would want. But it doesn't really matter, because this is fun. And I'll build, like, this is a bug, definitely, that I like. But we have gave the enemy a chance to destroy us a little bit, I would say. If we just stay back with these troops, we could actually have a chance of just allowing our towers to kill them. But we won't. I'm just going to wait for the amount of ammunition that we have on the Aghzai, to waste that ammunition and end it there. We're gonna end the video, well, the video, that is the battle there. So, hell's mother humping bells. The skirmishers, they still have ammunition to fire at some of our troops over here. Get a little bit closer, people. Get a little bit closer to the walls. Come on. Yes, like that. Excellent. This is what I want. Don't need to die at all in this battle. The enemy stands no chance otherwise of actually killing you. Hell's mother humping bells. We lost a few bad boys there. The skirmishers do have a lot of ammunition, though, it would seem. They do have a lot of ammunition. And we also have Aghzai troops have also a lot of ammunition. They do have their own Aghzai in the distance. A full stack of those bastards just Opening fire, if they're not, unless they have wasted their ammunition, which is impossible considering the amount of ammunition we have, but again, who knows what kind of effects we have upon our troops compared to them, have no clue, but it does not matter. A little bit more of damage, specifically these bad 54 of them. Reloading, 2666 of ASBs. Right there. These ASBs of 51 come getting a little damage from a little bit of we have of ammunition. That's gonna be it. Of course, the arrows themselves, one arrow, but sorry, towers themselves opening fire, giving a little bit of love towards these bastards. Even from a top angle, the arrows are coming from, not just the direct shots. The abs are really nicely holding. To be honest, really nicely holding. Let's go into the cinematic mode, just see the death and glory. I must say they have done a nice damage upon us. In all honesty, just to look at the ratio, 14% of allies killed, 27 of the enemies. But again, considering that this was a bug, we'll see how this really ends. And we actually had a fight with the enemy. So we're probably gonna be a close victory or some crap like that. Or maybe a close defeat. I have no idea how this is really. Well, they can't be a really close defeat or even defeat of any kind, because we won at the very start, right? So this is just continuation of the battle. If the enemy is gonna fall back and run away, they're not running away, by the way. So there is that. None of these bastards are running away or giving up. So maybe because they're not running away and getting beyond the border itself, it doesn't count. So they might get wiped out completely. At the very when we finish the battle, I truly have no idea, but this is gonna be an interesting thing to see. Yes, this is it, my dear friends. This was the end of the battle. This is it. No more ammunition. I'm just gonna do this and exit the battle. Yes, close victory. I lost 119 men. They lost 700, so there is that. But I want to see the experience gain. The Achzaiv gained the experience and Fayach Safie Latin. So that is a beautiful thing to see. I am glad at least some of units have gained some experience. So let's see how this is gonna go after the battle itself, because I'm worried that if they do fall back, at least they're gonna fall back and GTFO and victory for me in terms of that. They know I have to chase them down at some point, which is fine as long as they don't annoy me too much. But we shall see how if we can continuously recruit more men in the same group. If we have enough of population or something, that will give us the ability to retrain, most of our people that we have now lost, than 190 men that we lost in this battle. I mean, this would be a very, like cheap way of winning if I just ended immediately. And, whatever happens after. But I prefer that at least we had some type of a battle, and the thing that happened is that complete wipeout of the enemy entire force, the event force, that's probably just spawned because of us moving toward Iran, and we wiped it out completely. This is a 10 out of 10, my dear friends. This is a 10 out of 10. This is the beautiful victory we did not expect. I truly did not expect. I just was so like, why would we even have the ability to fight a siege of any kind? That has to be a bug, but it was a bug of sorts, it would seem, because this was the first time I actually saw it. Anyway, again, a lot of money. We are gaining a lot of money. A lot of money still. So we are going up. We are going up. Also, those are not Sassanid Empire over here, where I'm moving with a diplomat. It's a Seleucid Empire, I think, so I'm mixing it up. Also, I've checked, we do have one faction near Egypt, at least should be there. But if I want to have any type of contact, I want to be with Seleucid, with the Persian Empire. Well, can you call them the Persian Empire? Really, they're not. But, the Seleucid in Persia, and there it is. To have some beautiful love with these people. Thank you very freaking much. So anywho, that's the GT out there. It's a beautiful battle. We gained some traits. For Bin Malik hit Hamar, Bin Malik gained a beautiful increase. Yay, the king himself. +1 influence, +1 command, and +1 to personal security. And Malkun Sumhu Malk Saba gain also the enemy camp minus plus left guard, +1 influence, -50% the movement, enemy camp captured. It's a strange thing that he actually gained. Not the king, sorry, I'm mixing Malik, Bin Malik, Hitamar Malk Saba, the heir. Supposed to be an heir, it would seem, even though we have chosen for Luhay'ath Malk Saba to be an heir, but the hell's mother humping bells, anywho. First and foremost, retraining, or no, team now. Get back into what I really needed. The regional pacification, which we have seen what it actually gives us in the previous. What I want here is first retraining of my troops. A must, I would say. More elite troops. The troops did a beautiful damage upon the enemy. Achzai. The 123. Of how many do we actually gain of the Kamis? I truly do not know. The Kamis. How many? 161 soldiers they come with. Okay. Okay, well, that's a good thing. We're gonna get some Kamis. We have more recruitment slots, so we can retrain more of our troops. We're gonna retrain Sally Hagarians. We have no ability to do these. No more units of this type available for retraining. So I'm gonna go with who do really go? 13, not like a you can see even the of course the money's telling you not gonna really get much out of these bastards. But I am gonna retrain nonetheless. Everyone I can, even with the low amount. Thank you very much. Excellent. Recruitment slots non-existent at the moment for this turn, and I do not need them anymore, except for the spy. I'm gonna get a spy for the next turn. Why the hell not? 1,350, but it's gonna be worth it as we really need a spy. Nothing else of terms of billings at the moment. I have no need. Army over here also needs to be replenished, and it will be at some point. Also, now that we have gained the pacification, we have the ability to get a client-servant type of thing. But, of course, we will be needing 4,200. Oh boy. But it does enable recruitment of certain units. So there is that. That is going to be interesting, but I'm not going to look at it immediately because we have no ability to have anything at the moment due to not having money for it. But the most important thing is that we have researched regional pacification in Iran and in Zafar. So there is that. Thank you very freaking much. The next objective is going to be Shabuat. That's definitely the next objective as soon as I get my troops ready and get my money up and ready. We are getting nice population, thankfully, in all of our settlements, even a small camp over there. So construction, again, nothing at the moment. Recruitment, nothing at the moment. But hell's mother, let's get to normal taxis. Thank you very freaking much. We're getting a lot of money from everything. Even from Iran. 1,364. That's a lot, my dear friends. That's a freaking lot. Normal tax rate. Normal high tax rate in Maryab. Excellent. That's a good thing. Normal tax rate. Okay, for now, no enemy incursions upon our territory at the moment, at least. Diplomat going for the Seleucid Empire. We're gonna get some love with them if possible. Get some alliances, get some trade maybe. Have no clue. But for now, we are mostly surrounded by the rebel scum. They're little tribes that wanna be something more. The next tribe will be this one that I cannot really pronounce. But that's gonna be the one that I'll take as soon as possible. I'm a little bit worried about this camp. Units here, weak as hell. We might get some mercs if need be to just sustain this place. Because honestly, look at the units, like 25 Safi Latin, quadrupes. We need units there. We need these bad boys there. And that's exactly I'm going to be sending some of these bad boys. Some quadrupes. Free upkeep while garrisoned. That's exactly what I need. So these quadrupes will be moving towards Nairan. And hopefully they're loyal enough that they will not betray us on the route toward Nairan. Hopefully. But again, this is not a stainless steel where they tend to give up on us immediately without a general, which I actually have repeated that a lot, to be honest. A lot. Okay, so let's end one more turn. This turn that I specifically end this turn and see what happens in the next. And if everything is fine, we choose what to do with certain things, read a few more things, and end the video here. Well, there, damn, down. Over there, Seleucid Empire. There you go. I'm I'm looking at Sassanid Empire, and I remember the Sassanid is for the later parts of human history, but hell's mother humping bells. After all, this is after the death of Alexander, so there's that. Babylon, that way, where I'm going anyway. So hell's mother humping bells. A lot of beautiful factions to play with. A lot of factions actually to play with, and a huge world to play in. So I do like the amount of effort they put into this mod. Like, you can see the amount of detail from the troops themselves, the description of each. Again, to me, the most important thing is the lore that people give. And this is one thing I would love in Imperator Rome or any Paradox game, more love for lore and texts. Like, they have huge already amount of text, right? In terms of, well, mostly just measurements, right? What is better against what, the percentile, and all that bullshit. But the description of units, that's exactly what I really would like. Like, that's the thing. That's the friggin' thing that I would love. Like we have here, where it tells you this is what these spies do. These Hegarians are what they truly are. You know, that's what I really want. And above all things, we are getting retraining for our troops, which is very important. But now, not the retraining part. Now comes a building part. Do we build strategic fortifications? School of Scribes, Field Games, and Temple of Athatar. Well, of course, why the hell not? Whatever gives us the best, that's exactly what we'll be doing. But to me, the most important is safeguard, well, these points, right? Not really safeguard them as much as tell them, hey, look, I need to do this to really do, to get them under my control, after all. Public order is always the biggest problem at the moment, and this would give us public order bonus due to happiness 10%, public order bonus due to happiness 5% for Akhtar, Temple of Akhtar, that is, if we build it. Local production farming income +-1, recruitment slots allowed +2. We can recruit a diplomat or a spy. At the moment, only I need one spy, do not care for a diplomat. Enables training again of Rakabin, Minsarin, Ramata Rabi, Azb, and Akhzai. The amount we can actually get. And of course the description. And this is definitely not gonna like get maybe later or down the line. That, to be honest, what I'm really more interested is the Zafar. Zafar, for some reason, I can't do anything within it. And I do not know if that's a Halak Bayin. Halik Bayin, sorry, the governor is a problem at the moment. Because, in all honesty, I can't do anything here at the moment. Like, at all. Public order is a-okay. Eastern tribal income is great. Population, maybe because of the population itself that we are at the moment kind of weak. Let us actually look at that. Population improving slowly but surely. Income, household 592. For the next level of 800. Okay, so we definitely need population growth. We can increase population by 1.5 or just by 1. Like that's not a huge difference. I like more money, And Zafarit is at the moment in a distant region, after all, in Himyarim. And so, not really gonna be worried about that at the moment. So I'm okay with it. In Nairan, again, I would like to go with, as I said, with the client-servant thing. We can read upon a little bit about it. For now, Maryab is in a great position. I don't really need anything except retrainment, no recruitment. For, of course, Timna, we are getting the regional pacification, so again, no point. I'm gonna keep then for this. Yes, we can get the dispersed farming and a field of games, which again, public order due to happiness 5%, experience bonus to troops trained here +1. All great, all awesome, but not the thing that I need. I would prefer more stuff like this. So 2000 for the next settlement increase, that is the ability for the next level. But again, upped. I want to see what it truly does for us. So description, the tribal nature of this province might make them ideal candidate to be integrated into our federation. Obviously, they cannot be trusted, thus we must have loyal eyes in charge of it. Perhaps a Quail tribal leader from one of our loyal tribes can add some of these lands to his possession and receive part of tribute. In turn, he and his men can keep the peace here while we look for other fruitful lands to add to your personal possession. So we give loyalty, so we get that client servant, so maybe just give someone the land so it becomes something that I don't want, maybe just they don't belong to me anymore. Or we get a new home. Honestly, like these choices, interesting choice. I could go for a new home, which we have read previously what it gives us. Many interesting things. But I would prefer to get this. After all, Quails from tribes loyal to the king could be used to secure and rule newly conquered or unstable lands. The Quail could not refuse such an honor, though most would prefer to stay and lead their own tribes. However, getting control over these now on 3 communities would be a significant boost to the tribe. Tribute and taxes could be levied, and it would be also increase the forces of the tribal armies. However, the Sabaean kings needed to do this carefully. First of all, the tribe and the leader needed to be loyal and competent. Secondly, care was needed so as not to shift the balance of power between the different tribes. Yet, it was also a good way to send off influential Quails, who would have to accept, however, reluctantly. While the tribes newly ruled by the Quail would be considered clients and unfree, a certain level of independence will be retained. Trial assemblies could still be held for internal matters, but external relations and coordination of irrigation works will be handled by the newly appointed lords. Last but not least, the Quail also served as judge in important cases, especially disputes concerning farmlands and irrigated lands. As clients, they would also be obliged to muster troops when the new Quail or the king of Saba demanded it. Strategy. The Garian type is buildable over large swaths of Africa and Asia, where tribal culture is still prevalent. Local tribes allied to the Sabaean king and overseen by his confidants provide local troops for a common defense, but keep some of the revenues for their own purposes. The level of public happiness is, with this semi-autonomous arrangement, fairly high. Establishing this government is fast and rather expensive. However, as the time passes, the tribe gradually assimilate or accelerate 2 Sabaean traditions and costumes, represented in-game by raising level of Eastern imperial culture. Once given cultural threshold is passed, this is the important thing because they are not the same culture, this government may be upgraded to the next level, which provide more and better troops. I will go for it because it's a new thing. Because again, they are arid nomadism and we are Eastern tribal states and we need this. There is this Nawagastan, the new home. But I would like to have this kind of a client servant. Again, I want to see how it works. So I'm going to go with this, to be honest. So we're going to wait for that in the next turn. That's going to be for the next turn. So what we do here with a little bit of money, I can't retrain anything anymore. I can get new units, but I'm not going to retrain anything at the moment. Just to get Nairan into a certain position that I want it to be. and of course checking out new stuff. At least hopefully everything's gonna go a-okay. Hopefully, I say. So it's gonna end again at the turn. For now we are a-okay. If really the bad stuff... Okay, I forgot about the diplomat. My bad. I tend to always forget about this. I'm just gonna give him a better range of movement. And I do have a spy, which I forgot to utilize. Yay, demon, go for that. You're gonna lose the Saba tribe, like, if you continue doing that. Again, there are a lot of tribes around us. It is the enemy tribes, the rebel scum, the little tribes that need to be under our rule at some point. To remember also, we are playing on a on the, how do you call, a short campaign, that is. So our only goal is to wipe out the Ptolemaic dynasty, that is the Egypt, if you will, and that's it. So that's all we have to really do, and of course have certain amount of regions under our control, which is not a problem if we go full war like upon the Egypt itself. At the moment I have no enemies except the rebels themselves, so there is that. The year in history: Athena, Pergamon, nothing of us, Polemon, Academia, blah blah blah, Syracuse, okay. Rome suffers an extremely cold winter, it means. Ooh, it mints its first silver coinage, no less. A Samnite brigand named Lolilus is finally suppressed by consular armies, and they campaign against Caracini. War breaks out between Romani and the Pecentis. Imagine that, how beautiful for them. Construction complete, of course, the regional pacification, but that's gonna be all for the next turn, because now we'll have the ability to go for client-servant stuff, which is gonna be an interesting thing. I'm going immediately, of course, to select that. Thank you very much. Again, interesting things are gonna be happening in the future now that the battles have been a little bit sparse, not constant. Sparse is the right word, right? Anyway, I wish you the very best. Next time, more love, more drugs, and as always, more ever so amazing Europa Barbarorum 2, the greatest mod for Total War.